Hi, everybody. Welcome again to Ivy English. I'm Bruce.
I'm Angela.
And I'm Wesley.
Today is the 3rd of August. We have a reading for you with some comprehension questions at the end. The title of our article today is Smallville Experiment, 25 AI Avatars and the Emergence of Believable Social Behavior. Well, thank God you two are here to explain this article. I'll listen raptly with
I'll do
full
my
attention.
best, but honestly, what?
Okay. Well, I'll read through this, then we'll do our best to discuss a topic which is certainly new and rather bizarre to me. At least I can read it. So here we go. What happens when you let 25 AI avatars loose in a virtual town? Will the town fall apart in a few days? Or will it become the most sophisticated city in the history of virtual reality? Unfortunately, and maybe fortunately, an experiment like this was done recently, and it turns out that AI avatars aren't really that different from most people. Most likely, that is because the AI avatars and the city were created by humans. Google teamed up with Stanford University to see if AI characters could simulate human behavior. They created 25 generative agents with different personalities and watched how they interacted in the virtual town of Smallville, which had a park, a dorm, a cafe, a bar, houses, and stores. They used ChatGPT as an engine to do tasks such as purchasing things or reading a book. In the end, the AI agents created believable and emergent social behaviors. 2 of the AI agents debated who should be the mayor of Smallville. An agent turned off the stove when told their breakfast was burning, and one agent was even able to arrange a Valentine's Day party. This experiment showed that while AI is good at being a virtual assistant, it is capable of many more things. These findings are baby steps toward achieving AGI, Artificial General Intelligence, a point where AI tools can complete intellectual tasks on a human level. According to an AI expert who wasn't involved in the study, we've got a long, long way to go before that happens.
So there's a parable about AI that I read recently, which I would like to share with you guys here. Imagine there was a guy who was in a room with a computer, and this guy had infinite time and infinite energy, and someone sent him a message in Chinese. And he knows how to type Chinese, but he has no idea how to read it or write it. He knows nothing about the language, but he knows how to generate Chinese characters. So he randomly generates some Chinese characters back to the person. And over time, because he has infinite time and infinite energy, he eventually figures out how to generate a string of random Chinese characters that somehow the person who's sending them questions seems to understand. The guy still has no idea what he's saying, but he just knows that this particular string of characters will satisfy that particular request. So imagine, it's a very unbelievable thing because we can't imagine a human being not learning to understand what they're doing at that time. But if you can accept the premise that this guy is just able to accidentally figure out how to answer the things without understanding the language, that's the situation that AI is doing. They are not actually thinking in Chinese and responding in Chinese. They're just putting together a string of characters that they know satisfies the request. They don't know what they're talking about. They just imitate human behavior really well, but they're not using human cognition to do it. Okay, I'm just going to say that here. And now let's look at our article. So we have the first question, which is, what happens when you let 25 AI avatars loose in a virtual town? So it's an AI town with 25 AI people in it. People. AI avatars. You know, we're very careful to say avatars and agents and all these things because they're not people. But it's like humans will humanify anything. You know, we'll be like a cockroach running on the ground and then like it gets squished. They'll be like, oh, the little guy got squished. You know, like we have the compassion to turn anything into human beings. But we have to remember that AI are agents and avatars and not people. So if you let something loose in a place, it means you let them have the freedom of the place. They're allowed to run around and do what they like. And a virtual town is not a real place. It is a simulated space in a computer.
好，那这个刚刚 Angela 老师一开始讲的那一个算是一个预言或者是一个假想的情况，其实不是假的，就是真的。就是这个 AI 这个东西，它有无限的时间，它有无限的学习能力，那它没有什么事情可以做，每天就在那边，而且它学习能力超级的强，所以它其实现在能够做到的就是它可以把它网络上面找到所有的资源，它可以把它整合起来。所以你在问他问题的时候，他给你的回答，他可能不知道那个到底内容是真的是假的，他不会去思考，可是他知道这些东西是相关的，他可以把它放在一起，让你以为他懂这个东西。所以这个是 AI 目前可能会大家对他比较不放心的一个东西。那我们来看看这个一开始他问说 What happens when 如果这个事情发生的话，你觉得会怎么样？那什么事情发生呢？就是 let loose， 就是让它自由活动。你让25个 AI 的虚拟角色让它自由去活动，在一个 virtual town 一个虚拟的小镇里面，你让它自由活动，那会发生什么事情？那 Angela 老师刚刚这里还谈了一个很重要的一个问题，就是人类很容易就把非人的东西把它拟人化。就是我想大家家里有养宠物的，这个大家就很了解，就明明它可能是狗可能是猫，可是你就觉得你会给它好像它是个人一样这样对待它，好像它有人的思考等等的，甚至于可能一只蟑螂你说不定都会把它想成是个人啊。那当然动物都可以这样子，那这个 AI 大家更容易把它想成是个真的人。那 AI 的虚拟角色很多人就真的就是觉得那个人就是一个真正存在的一个人了。
When I first read that sentence,I'm not accustomed to this stuff yet. I thought to myself, why would anybody name 25 avatars the same name, Al? I'm not kidding, unfortunately. Continuing, will the town fall apart in a few days, or will it become the most sophisticated city in the history of virtual reality? Will the town, the virtual town,will it fall apart? Will it somehow destroy itself in a few days? Or the opposite, will it become the most sophisticated city, high class and positive and productive and so on in the history of virtual reality, which is basically what we're talking about today?
There is no sophisticated city in the history of virtual reality. No, I'm serious. Just about any virtual reality, like so-called community, has basically fallen apart within 2 or 3 years. There's no successful virtual reality thing. This is why Meta is also failing, by the way.
所以这个其实虚拟的这种城市呢，好像目前为止从来没有真的成功过。所以我们刚刚一开始讲说，如果你让25个 AI 的这个虚拟人物在一个虚拟的城镇里面让他们自由活动的话，那 will the town 那这个镇会不会 fall apart， 会不会分崩离析 in a few days， 是不是几天就垮掉了分崩离析的？还是说 will it become， 还是说这个城镇会变成 the most sophisticated city？ Sophisticated 就是高度发展的，它变得不是很简单，而是有各种复杂的发展。那它会不会变成一个高度发展的城市 in the history of virtual reality， 在这个虚拟实境的历史上面，它会不会成为最高度发展的一个城市呢？因为其实这 Angela 老师刚刚讲的，大概别人有试过类似的事情，但是之前都没有成功过。
Yeah, for the last 20 years, we've been doing this like over and over and over again.
Wow, 所以过去20年来，其实大家不断的反复的去试验，看这样的一个虚拟城市会不会成功。那目前为止没有成功过的。
Which is why I was so shocked when Meta was like, we're going to do a virtual reality for everybody. And I was like, you do know the history is that no one has succeeded at this. But like, go ahead, you've got lots of money. Let's see how it works. And it's dying.
Good luck.
It's dying. Okay, so next sentence. Unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, an experiment like this was done recently. So unfortunately means it's bad for us, and fortunately means it's good for us. It turns out that AI avatars aren't really that different from most people. I highly take exception to the conclusion of this sentence. Just because a bunch, like 25 AI avatars can like make conversation with each other doesn't mean that they're anything like people. Anyways, to say that it turns out that means that the result of this was, or what we found out was,
好，所以其实我们在读这篇文章的时候，大家其实我们也希望大家去思考这个问题，就是 AI 这个东西对人类的未来到底是有哪些可能的影响，那是好还是不好，或者是好的是什么，不好的是什么？因为这个问题，我想大家都会面临到。好，所以呢，我们看到一开始他说 unfortunately， 或者是说不定还蛮幸运的。 这个地方其实讲的就是，如果是不幸的话，就是说这个实验好像没有成功，没有像他们想象那样子的成功。但是也许没有成功也是好事，就告诉我们说 AI 这个东西有它的局限。所以就这一点来讲，那是蛮幸运的，让我们了解了 AI 有它的局限。那不幸的是，这一次实验好像又没有成功，又没有得到他们想要的那个答案。好，所以他说 An experiment like this， 像这样的一个实验呢 was done recently， 就是刚刚讲的25个虚拟人让他自由活动，这样的一个实验呢，最近有人做了。然后呢 it turns out that 就是结果是这样子。那这个地方各位可以注意到，它这个是用 it turns out that。 Can we say it turned out that?
Yeah, either one. So it turns out that means that we're talking about the result, and the result is always in the present tense because the result is always the result. That's why we can say the book says that blah, 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 because the book is always saying that. But you can also say the book said that or it turned out that because this thing, the result already came up in the past and it's a finished conclusion. So this is one of the few times where you can use the present tense and the past tense, even though present and past tense mean different things, because functionally it's still true and functionally it happened in the past.
好，那这个地方呢 it turns out that 跟 it turned out that 都对，那这个立足点不太一样。如果是 turns out that 就表示这个结果是这样，而这个结果已经是成为一个事实了，所以不管你什么时候去看这个结果都是这样子。所以从这个角度来讲，你是 it turns out that。 但是如果你说以当时做实验的那一个时间点来看，当时那个结果在那个时候出来的那一个结果，那你就是用 it turned out that， 就这件事情当时这个实验在过去，那在过去实验做完之后他们得到的结果是这样子，那这个时候就是用 ed。 但是你如果要强调说这个结果以后都一样我们随时看都是这个结果，那就是 turns out。 好，所以结果是这些虚拟人物呢 aren't really that different from most people， 和大多数的人没有那么的不同。那这里也是一样，大家要这个注意一下，就是 critical thinking 他这样子讲但事实上各位要想到他今天只有25个 AI 的 avatars， 所以他用这个东西做出来的结论，那其实就是这个实验的结论。那到底 AI 跟人到底是相同地方比较多还是不同地方比较多，这也是一个以后我们慢慢要看的，值得大家去思考的一个问题。
Well, the end of that sentence has our 25 AI avatars aren't really that different from most people. As we continue, most likely that is because that these avatars and people aren't really that different. That is because the AI avatars in the city were created by humans. Humans made them. It shouldn't be surprising that they're behaving or acting like humans.
好，所以 most likely 就最有可能的是什么呢？ That is because 就是为什么 AI 的这个虚拟人跟大多数的真正的人没有那么不同呢？那是因为最可能的原因是因为这些虚拟人呢，还有这个虚拟城市 the city 就是这个 the virtual town， 他们都是 were created by humans， 他们都是由人类所创造的。既然是人造出来的，所以它可能很多地方跟人没有那么的不同。
So Google teamed up with Stanford University. If you team up with someone, you partner together to do a thing.And they wanted to see if AI characters could simulate or pretend to be or pretend to show human behavior.
OK， 那所以 Google 它怎么样呢？它 teamed up with 就是和谁组成团队，也就是和谁合作，和史丹佛大学合作，看一看to see 是否 if 就是是否这个 AI 的角色可以 simulate 就是模拟 human behavior， 他们是不是能够模拟人类的行为
？They created 25 generative agents with different personalities and watched how they interacted, how they behaved with each other in the virtual town of Smallville. That's not a real place, of course. The virtual town that they created had a park, a dorm, a cafe, a bar, houses, and stores. It seemed like a normal village or town.
I wonder how many towns in the world actually are like this, but okay.
Yeah, 好，所以
Anymore.
所以现代这个世界可能像这样的 town 到底有多少也不知道那可能不太多了。那我们来看到他们创造了25个 generative agents， 叫做生成式的智慧体 agents， 我们把它翻成智慧体。那 generative 就是它是生成式，它会不断的像这个很多 AI 它都会不断的生成 text 或生成各种的行为等等的，这是生成式的智慧体。然后呢 with different personalities， 他们有不同的个性，就是25个虚拟人都有不同的个性。然后呢科学家 watched 观察 how they interacted 他们如何的互动 in the virtual town of Smallville 在这个虚拟城镇名字叫 Smallville 这个 ville 就是跟 village 很像所以这个很多小镇啊它后面都有一个什么什么 ville 什么什么 ville 这样子那这个虚拟小镇呢它有公园有 dorm 就是有宿舍那我觉得蛮有趣的他应该先讲有学校嘛好所以 anyway 这个大概是一定有学校才会有 dorm 才会有宿舍当然这 dorm 也不一定是学校可能是工厂等等的然后它有一家这个咖啡厅然后呢有 bar 有一个酒吧有房子还有商店
Now, they used ChatGPT, the famous ChatGPT, as an engine to do tasks. An engine is something that runs something. So the engine in your car moves your car. The engine in your software runs your software. So they used ChatGPT as the engine to run these 25 AI avatars. And they did such tasks as purchasing things. They did tasks such as purchasing things or reading a book.I guess. So to purchase things is to buy things. So I guess they gave him a little mini economy as well, which is interesting.
好，所以呢，他们使用 ChatGPT 作为一个引擎，就是在后面驱动的一个引擎，然后呢，做一些任务，执行一些任务 ，do tasks。例如什么任务呢 ？Purchasing things， 他们可以去购物，所以他们搞不好有一个小小的经济体在那边，或者是呢，reading a book， 或者是阅读一本书。
In the end, the AI agents created believable and emergent social behaviors. So in this experiment, they probably had a time limit, and then they checked out what happened, and they found that these AI agents had behaviors, social behaviors, very similar to a simple interaction among real people.
好，所以呢 in the end,最后呢这些 AI agents 他们 created 他们制造出来创造出来的 believable 就是可以让你相信的也就是相当逼真的你可以觉得好像真的是这样子然后呢还有 emergent那 emergent 在这里是 coming into being 的意思正在成型隐约成型的一些 social behaviors 一些社会行为也就是说这些 AI agent 他们会做出一些社会行为你觉得好像蛮逼真的你会觉得好真的我们的社会也会发生这种事情所以那是 believable 他们好像真的是可以这样做了那 emergent 就是它还没有完全发展的非常成熟但是已经有一些社会行为的雏形有出现了所以 emergent 在这里是这个意思正在成型的隐约成型的
So for the example of the behaviors is that two of the AI agents debated who should be the mayor of Smallville. So they had a little political conversation, apparently. Or another example is that the agent turned off the stove when told their breakfast was burning. And then one agent was even able to arrange a Valentine's Day party.
好，那这些 AI agents 里面有两个这个虚拟人呢，他们 debated， 他们有一场辩论说谁应该要成为这个 Smallville 这个地方的这个镇长。那另外一个 agent 他 turned off the stove， 他把这个炉关掉了。When told， 当他被告知 when he 或者 she was told their breakfast was burning， 他的早餐快要烧焦了。那另外一个呢甚至于 was even able to 他甚至于可以 arrange 可以安排一个 Valentine's Day 情人节的 party 那这些东西都是看起来好像就是已经成型当中的社会行为例如说这个别人跟他讲你的早餐快要烧焦了他就会去关炉子这表示说他可以跟别人互动就别人讲的话他听得懂而且他知道要怎么样去采取行动针对别人讲的话来采取行动这些都是可以说是 emergent 一些 social behaviors 而且非常 believable 很逼真
Okay, let's look at our final paragraph. This experiment showed that while AI is good at being a virtual assistant, it is capable of many more things, which simply means that AI is not just a virtual assistant to help you with what you want to do, but it has the potential for doing many more things, maybe independent of humans.
好，所以这个实验呢 showed that 告诉我们 while 是一方面这个 AI is good at 它很擅长 being a virtual assistant 它很擅长作为一个虚拟助手的角色它可以帮你处理很多事情在一方面这样但是呢我们也知道 it is capable of 它也可以有能力做到 many more things 它也可以做很多更多的事情所以它不只是个助手而已
These findings are baby steps, so they're tiny, tiny steps. They're not great strides towards achieving AGI, or artificial general intelligence, which is where an AI machine can just act like a regular human being with all the scope of intelligence that a normal human being has. So they're just, that point is where AI tools can complete intellectual tasks on a human level so that a human person, anything a human person could do, including driving a car, is something that an AI could do. That would be AGI or artificial general intelligence. And I don't believe that will ever happen.
所以这个到达这个程度的那一天可能很难到来哈。不过我们来观察吧。那我们看到这个句，他说 These findings 这些这个结果，就他们得到的这些结果呢 ，are baby steps， 就是小小的一步，就是朝向一个更大、更艰难的目标的一个小小的一步，像小宝宝在走了一步而已。所以它是小小的一步 toward achieving， 在到达完成 AGI 之前，这只是小小的一步。那 AGI 就是 Artificial General Intelligence， 这个我还不太确定它的中文怎么翻啊。不过它这个意思就是怎么样？就是 a point， 就到达这个程度的时候呢 ，AI 的这些工具就可以 complete 完成 intellectual tasks 一些智能的工作 on a human level 啊，就像人一样，在人的这个阶段。换句话说，简单的说，就是 AI 能够跟人一样，可以开车，可以干嘛，什么都可以。
So in America, the average driver can go about 400,000 miles before they have an accident. So like the average is 400,000 miles to one accident. Guess how much an AI driver can do?
20?
Half.
Half a mile?
Half a mile. And then they have an accident. So this is why I don't believe that AI will ever be able to drive.
哇哦，好，刚刚 Angela 老师说呢，这在美国有做实验，就是如果是人类驾车的话，平均要开40万里 miles 才会出车祸，但是 AI 的话呢，0.5里，哈，就 0.5 就会出車禍了。
Yeah.
所以這個差距非常的大。
That wasn't an experiment, that was a statistical analysis.
這不是實驗哦，這個是根據實際的數字算出來的。
Okay, we finish with this sentence. According to an AI expert who wasn't involved in the study, we've got a long, long way to go before that happens.And I think our Angela just gave us a perfect example of what this man was getting at.
Yeah, 好，所以根据一个 AI 专家，那这个人呢，他没有涉入这个实验，也就是他没有参加这个实验。那他说呢，我们还有很长很长的路要走。Before that happens， 就是当我们能够有一个 AGI 真的大到那个程度 ，AI 完全能做人的事情的时候呢，到那个时间，到那个点，我们还有很长的路要走。
Okay, so we have some questions here for you, just for you. Number one is, what was the purpose of the Smallville experiment? I really would like to know.
Yeah, 这个 Smallville 它的这个实验的目的是什么啊？我也很好奇，他为什么要做这样的实验呢？
But according to our article, the answer is D, to determine whether AI agents could generate human-like behavior. To generate something is to create or...I mean, I don't think they're generating it. I think they're imitating it, and I think that's a hugely qualitative difference. Okay, I'll stop editorializing now.
OK, 好，那答案是 D， 要确认一下这个 AI 智慧体是不是可以产生类似人类的行为。那这正确答案。不过这个 generate 这个字是生成或产生的意思，但事实上目前为止 AI 它其实只是 imitate 啊，它只是模仿人的行为而已。
Number 2, according to the passage,Why was ChatGPT used in the experiment?
好，那根据本文，为什么在实验当中我们要使用 ChatGPT 呢？
The answer is B, to enable the AI agents to perform everyday jobs.
So they're using it as the engine.
所以答案是 B， 好，让 AI 智慧体能够执行日常的工作，也就是说他们用 ChatGPT 当做一个 engine。
And number 3, what is the AI expert's opinion about the experiment?AI
专家对实验有何看法呢？
The answer is C. There is still much work to be done before AGI becomes a reality.
好，答案是 C。好，在通用 AI 成为现实之前，还有很多工作要做。
All right, that's it for today's lesson. Hope you've learned something. I know I have. We'll be back in about a week and look forward to serving you again. Until then,
bye-bye.